Look at that. That's my backyard, and it's just loaded with snow. Yeah, some of you haven't ever been able to come over to my house. Poor miserable you. I got this cute little 3-bedroom house that I've been enjoying for the last 6 years. And it's been great. I have really enjoyed it. And I've been holding on to this place by the scum of my teeth. And my house cleaning work, successful house cleaning work, is what has made it happen. Because I am in sales and I do my house cleaning work. And I was going to say, by the way, for anyone who happens to be watching this, that I've been wanting to make a little comment about my experience working at Ford. Yeah, I worked at Ford for what? How many months was that? A couple of months I worked at Ford, you know, where Robbie worked for quite some time. That's where Robbie worked, and he was a very successful car salesman. You see, the thing is, I was in sales at Gateway Computer, but that was before I worked at Ford. But what happened was Gateway Computer had an awesome training program. Absolutely fantastic sales training program when I finally got into sales. And I'm going to tell you something, I found myself. When I was at Gateway Computer, I found myself. Because I'm a salesperson. Now, I'm not the kind of salesperson who's going to say, I can sell anything. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. I can sell snow to an Eskimo. I'm not that kind of salesperson. No, because I'm not going to try to cram something down somebody's throat and get them in a nasty financial situation where they can't afford it or whatever. But like I said, Gateway had an outstanding sales training program, and I learned so much from that. But then when it came to working at Ford, I don't remember who the little gal was, what her name was. I don't remember what her name was. But she was the sales manager. And you know what? Their training sucked. Because when you're trying to teach somebody, train somebody, you have to start out with what they already know. You have to take your person, your trainee, and you've got to sit them down alone and you got to find out, what exactly does she know? Here's the thing. The questions they should have asked me was, I'm saying this because I beat myself up over this for years. I beat myself up over this for years, that I failed at selling cars. And it was a pretty big blow to my self-esteem. But I had the sales training at Gateway Computer. And it was excellent, you know. And I know about maximizing the sale, okay? But when I went through the training program at Ford, that girl didn't sit me down and find out what I already knew. And here's the thing. I had never bought a car before. I had never bought a car off of the showroom floor before. I never sat down with a, whatever you call them. What do you call those people that are selling the car? Isn't there some kind of a business name for them? The sales specialist? I had never been in a situation before where you sit down with the sales specialist in this little teeny tiny room and they keep coming back and offering you another price. They keep running it through these different credit and banks, checking your credit to see exactly what you can afford. And they'll go through 5, 6, 7, a dozen different banks, financial institutions, to find out whether or not somebody will accept your loan, even if it ends up being extremely high interest, whatever it's going to take to get you in this car, if it's going to be a 4-year loan and you're paying $400 a month, whatever it's going to be, and then they come back to you and give you this offer, and they're just waiting for you to say yes. Then they're going to take your down payment, they're going to check your income, get your down payment, and set you up with car payments that are going to last for how many years, and you get to pay that every month. I'd never been through something like that before. And at the same time, I hadn't dealt with large sums of numbers, large sums of money. It was intimidating to me. But this trainer, she didn't sit down with me and find out exactly what I knew on a personal level about stuff like this. And here's the fun part about it, is that when I had a Daewoo, whatever year it was, I don't remember. It was I don't know, 2000 something. Well, that car kerplunked on me one day when I was living in OP. And I had to get a new car immediately. I needed wheels right away. So you know what I did? I took that knowledge from Ford that I never knew about Ford. And I remembered that that's what they do, is they sit you down, and I figured it out later, see? I figured it out that they're going to go back and forth between their sales manager and you and your customer and find out whether or not they can get a bank to finance them. And they'll go through a whole bunch of different banks. And so that's what I did when I went to Kia. I realized when I went to Kia that that's what they were going to do, because that's what they did at Ford, and I didn't figure it out till way later, because their sales program sucked. She didn't sit me down and find out what I knew at the time. So when my car kerplunked and I went to Kia, and that's what they did, they kept running it through to see if a bank would finance me. It wasn't me, it was the training that sucked. Now, I could walk back into a car sales place now and I could probably get a job. But I don't want to. I don't like being around people like that. No, I don't like the competition. I don't like dog eat dog. I do not like dog eat dog. But of course, my line of work has dog eat dog too, but I know what I have to offer, and I know that my work is top of the line. I clean out toilets. I mop floors on my hands and knees. And I get up on ladders and reach higher places, and I clean windows inside and out. And I got a business name that I'm very proud of, and I worked very hard to get where I'm at, and I have been holding down my life with my house cleaning work all by myself, and I don't have the desire to have a bunch of employees. I'm not cut out for that. I'm not cut out for that. So I do it the way I feel comfortable with doing it, and I don't have to be ashamed of what happened to me at Gateway Computer anymore, because you know what? After Gateway Computer, I ended up going into ADT security. Actually, ADT security was before Ford. And I went into sales at Dillard's. But you realize, okay, the problem wasn't me. The problem was them. So I used the sales training that I had at Gateway Computer, which was excellent. Excellent training. And I use it with my house cleaning work. And that's how I'm able to support myself and get what I deserve in pay. You know what? I'd like to see Deanna support herself on the kind of money she can make. Because she could never do what I do. Nope, she could never accomplish what I have. I'm proud of my efforts. I'm proud of how far I've come. And there's other things that I'm proud of too about myself and my life that she can't even track it. Nah. She couldn't keep up with me if she tried. So that's what this video is about. And I hope everybody had a great Christmas, like I said on our last video. And I'm going to keep bringing more videos in, but I wanted my family to know that if they've been laughing at me for all these years about my negative experience at Ford Motor Company, back in whatever year it was, what was that, in the 90s? I had a bad experience at Ford because I didn't sell not one car. But that was because they had a really shitty sales program. They didn't sit and ask me exactly what I knew about selling cars. That's their fault, and they lost a real good salesperson. And two, the people at Ford, they were really shitty to me. You might be successful for one reason or another. You see, Robbie grew up with a dad that worked on cars. He had all kinds of knowledge about cars. He had all the answers about cars because his dad, body man, could take a car apart and put it right back together again. Well, you got to know your product. You got to know your customers. You got to know what does your client already know. You've got to be able to teach that client. And you've got to understand what the sales process is. And I didn't know that. I hadn't comprehended it. It was not clear to me what I was supposed to do. Don't, like I said, I'm not going to beat myself up over stuff. Why do you got to beat yourself up? And I've learned that so many times in life. I don't have to do that. I don't have to let other people put me down and dominate me and run me down. Make me feel like shit like Deanna did the entire time I was growing up next to her. Deanna's favorite entertainment was to make me feel like shit. And she did it all the time. Condescending, running me down. And I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm not going to stop telling people what she did. And I want other people to take the chance to compare this with how they have been treated by her. Because I'm not done. And then pretty soon we're going to be talking about how Deanna treated Jerry, our brother. Deanna's going to answer for that. You're going to answer for that big time. How Deanna treated our brother Jerry. Because it ain't funny. It ain't fucking funny. That's my brother. He's the closest thing to Al Hatcher that I had. And Jerry and I connected back in 2017, 2018, 2019. Jerry and I connected. It was actually before that. It was more like 2011, back when Jerry and I connected. And he became my favorite sibling. You see this, Jan? This is for you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Jan. This is for you. You see me? Fuck you. And in your old age, if you need somebody to wipe your ass and wipe the snot off of your nose, you can run to Deanna. I haven't even got an apology from you from what you said and did. Led right into mom's suicide, and it could have been prevented. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm going to make sure the family hears about it. I'm going to make sure this never dies. Deanna's actions, Deanna's behavior prior to mom and dad's demise, how Deanna handled everything. Preventable suicide. I don't take it lightly. And then we've got how Deanna treated Jerry. How Deanna treated our brother. I'm going to be doing some videos about Jerry. Singling out what Deanna put Jerry through. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for stepping in. Stopping in. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas and Happy New Year and a lot of different subjects to talk about. Talk soon. Bye.